If you happen to be a light summer woman of style, you also have a flow color season and palette to choose from, and that would be the light spring color season and palette. Ask yourself, what is the dominant trait of light summer and that of light spring? If you answered your beautiful light eyes, typically light blonde hair, not always, but most of the time, and delicate translucent skin quality, then you have just found your flow color branding palette. Light summer women of style have an equal blend of both summer and spring, which allows you to wear a range of colors from the light spring color palette effortlessly. Here we have the stunning Naomi Watts, who is an obvious light summer woman of style. Her beautiful light blue eyes, natural light blonde hair, and light translucent skin quality also places her within the light spring color palette. As you can see, there is very little difference between the light summer and light spring women of style, other than the obvious default of one season being cool and the other warm. To the right, Taylor Swift matches the lightness in hair, eye, and skin quality to that of Naomi Watts. As such, if you are a light spring woman of style, such as Taylor, you can also borrow a select few colors from the light summer color palette. You just need to remember to choose from the lightest of colors that can balance your blended light spring and light summer coloring. Furthermore, if you are a light summer, the trick for you is not to borrow colors from the light spring color palette that are too warm in appearance. It's best to borrow the lightest of colors from the light spring palette, and they include vibrant watermelon, bright periwinkle, cornflower, amethyst, peachy pink, delphinium, and pearl gray. So here we have the lovely Naomi Watts. Naomi Watts first came onto my radar when I saw her in the movie King Kong. If you remember that blockbuster movie that came out a few years ago, I absolutely loved her in that movie. And the moment that I saw her make her appearance in the King Kong movie, I was like, I cannot wait to see her play Marilyn Monroe one day. I don't think she has. I thought she did, but I looked her credits up online and it was actually Michelle Williams. She does a good Marilyn Monroe as well, but I would love to see Naomi Watts play a modern day Marilyn. I think she would be very good in that particular characterization. And I'm actually going to be including Marilyn Monroe in my Summer Style series that's going to be coming up in a little while. So be on the lookout for that. And I also loved her in her characterization of the lovely Princess Diana. She too will be making a appearance in my Summer Style series as well. But anyways, getting back to Naomi Watts. So Naomi Watts is in fact a classic light summer woman of style who can flow quite beautifully into the light spring color palette as well. So she can wear both light summer and light spring colors quite effortlessly. So she's basically a blend of both light summer and light spring. So as I was pulling on photos for Naomi, I was actually wondering myself if she was a light spring who flows into a light summer color season. But when I went back through the Google archives, as I do, and I looked up her early acting photos, her hair color before she went through the Hollywood makeover machine, as I like to say, was in fact a cooler, light ashy brown color. And as she got more prominence and more visibility in Hollywood, that's when she started to enhance her natural stresses to be more of a platinum blonde, a warm platinum blonde, classic Hollywood look, which she works beautifully because I was thinking that she perhaps was a light spring who flows into the light summer color palette. But let's start with her facial profile with no makeup.
She is a light summer woman of style. And the reason why I personally feel she's a light summer woman of style is because she still has a light coolness to her overall physical appearance. As you can see, her skin tone has a cooler pink visual appearance to it rather than a peachy, softer, warmer appearance to it. And her eyes are quite beautiful. They are very light, they are very prominent, and her hair color works very well with the lightness of her eyes and her skin coloring. She is very much, in fact, a cool color season, and I've placed her into the light summer color season and palette because I feel those colors sit quite beautifully on her. But when she's wearing her light spring colors, she also looks quite beautiful in those colors as well. So I want to say, as I have been stating throughout this video, that Naomi Watts is a beautiful blend of light summer and light spring. So if you have done the process of elimination and you've gone through the foundational videos of what a light summer color season is, and you have the same type of visual characteristics as Naomi Watts, then perhaps you are a light summer woman of style who can wear the lightest colors from the spring color palette. So the trick with this particular color season and color palette is because you appear very light and very delicate in your coloring, you still have a little bit of coolness to your visual appearance. So you just want to make sure that you're choosing colors from the light spring color palette that are lighter rather than warm in its visual appearance. So meaning if you're going to opt to wear a peach color from the light spring color palette, you just want to make sure that the peach or the version of peach that you are choosing is the lightest peach out of the spectrum of peaches within the spring color palette for you, because you'll be able to balance those colors quite nicely. Rather, if you go for a much more deeper coral color of peach, it's going to be a little too warm on you and it's just going to sit on you. The example that I like to give to my clients when I'm showing them their color palette versus the incorrect color palette that perhaps they've been wearing is that it kind of gives you like a bobblehead effect. So the color just sits on you and then it's just your head, your hair, and your eyes. Nothing blends nicely with the color if the color is incorrect and you're not placed in the right color season and color palette. As I have been stating throughout the color branding series, is that you will know when you are wearing the correct color because everything just flows beautifully. Your hair, your eyes, your makeup, your accessories, everything just works beautifully and flows from the top of your head all the way to the bottom of your shoes. It should be in harmony with your natural coloring. Everything should be balanced out. When you are wearing the correct colors, or rather I should say when you're wearing the incorrect colors, your body, your symmetry of your body, it just looks choppy and it doesn't look like everything's in alignment. Another way of putting it, especially if you happen to be a more petite woman and you want to add curves to, or give the illusion of having more curves to your physique, when you are wearing the right color palette, you can utilize color to give you the illusion of having more curves if you happen to be on the very petite side. Versus if you happen to be a more curvier, bodacious woman, as I like to say, and you want to give the illusion of being a little bit more slimmer for an evening gown, let's say perhaps that you're wearing for a wedding this summer, certain colors that you wear can visibly enhance your physique and make it look out of place or make it look disconnected. And certain colors that you wear can make you look quite slim, but also maintain that curvy physique as well. So this is the magic of color. It's not just about picking colors because they look pretty on you. That's just a small part of it. You can use color to communicate to other people that come into your aura, that come into your presence, who you are, what you are all about, and to give that mystery, that allure of being, dare I say, a Renaissance woman. So let's get into Naomi's Light Spring color palette. So the top left, Naomi is wearing Light Spring Stardust Gold, and I absolutely love this version of gold on Naomi. It is so signature of a light spring woman of style to wear this version of gold. It's very decadent, it's luxurious, it's not overpowering her lightness. And the trick to choosing the correct gold metallic accessory, firstly, I will direct you to my bonus video on choosing the best gold metallic accessory if you happen to be a spring or autumn woman of style. But the trick is, especially if you are a light spring woman of style, is to choose golds that are medium to light in its intensity. So you don't want to go with a gold metallic accessory that is too deep, because it may be too intense on you, or it may be too heavy for the lightness of your physical characteristics. So going with a medium to light gold accessory metallic will do wonders for you. And I absolutely love this version of Stardust Gold on Naomi Watts. She wears it quite beautifully. It blends beautifully with her flaxen blonde hair. And I just love, again, that she kept her makeup very neutral, and she just looks red carpet ready. And again, you guys will probably get sick of hearing me say this throughout the color branding series, but I will say it again. When you are wearing the correct color season and color palette, you will not have to rely on wearing a lot of makeup. Half the work is already done for you, because when you're wearing your signature color palette, it just gives the illusion of your skin being very healthy. It adds that extra level of a natural glow to your overall appearance of your skin. So yes, we do have to wear makeup, maybe some of us more than others, but you may not have to rely on putting on too much foundation or too much concealer or too much lipstick, because when you're wearing your colors, your signature colors, everything, as I just stated earlier, should blend beautifully. Everything should be in harmony. Everything should be balanced, okay? Moving along, Naomi is looking quite beautiful, wearing Light Spring's Island Yellow. I love this version of Island Yellow on her. She looks quite beautiful and cheerful. I don't know if you can see it from your end of the screen, but in this particular picture, her hair is a little bit more red, so she went for a slight strawberry red instead of her usual flaxen blonde hair. And she could almost trick you into believing that she's a warm spring woman of style, but it works because she can flow into the light spring color season. Spring is a warm color season and color palette. So she did dye her hair just a little bit red, but not too much. There's still that signature blonde there, but it's not like a signature strawberry blonde that we've seen in the previous videos that I have done. If you look at the video, the color lessons that I did for Christina Hendricks and Darby Stanchfield, you will see what a classic warm spring woman of style with red hair looks like when she's wearing her color palette. She touched on it just a little bit, but she didn't go overboard. So this yellow works with this particular hair color, and I love the pop of Light Spring's red lipstick that she's wearing. So this entire outfit works for me. Moving along, we have Naomi Watts wearing Light Spring's mauve color. I absolutely love this color on her. I love the way that she belted it, and she has very simple yet elegant statement earrings on. This color of Light Spring mauve sits beautifully with the lightness of her visual characteristics. And again, she's not wearing a lot of makeup. I also love the fact that she just kept the earrings and she did not wear a statement necklace. I think it would have been too busy with this outfit. So this light spring mauve color works quite beautifully on the lovely Naomi Watts. Moving next to that photo, we have Naomi Watts wearing Light Spring's nude taupe. This is such a beautiful color on her. It just brought her to life, as all the colors have done, but this is one of my favorite, I want to say, power colors for Naomi. This is a great anchor color and power color for her. And I love the gold earrings that she's matched with this particular outfit as well. To the top right, Naomi looks really divine wearing Light Spring's fleshy peach color. So notice that this version of peach is more of a fleshy peach. It's not a traditional peach color that you would find a warm spring woman of style wearing. The Light Spring version of peach is more of a fleshy peach, and I love that she chose this version of the color to wear for this particular event. It looks quite beautiful on her. It looks like she's not even wearing anything, but it works because it matches her lightness and it almost blends in with her skin coloring as well. So she was going a little sexy in this particular outfit, but I like it. It works. And I just like that she kept her hair very simple. It looks like she styled it with just a simple pair of gold studs and she's good to go. I love that the makeup is very neutral. It's very natural looking and she looks amazing in that photo. So let's move down to the bottom row to the far left. Naomi Watts again comes to life wearing Light Spring's bright coral. So Light Spring's bright coral is much different from Autumn's version of coral versus Warm Spring's version of coral. It's much lighter and it's not as potent as the Warm Spring or the Warm Autumn version of coral. This color of coral is so beautiful. I love this color on her. She again is not wearing a lot of makeup, and that's how you know that you are wearing the right color season and color palette, because you won't be reaching for all these different makeup products to make your skin look healthy. It naturally will do that for you. Your makeup is just an added bonus when you are wearing the correct color season. Moving along, I found a still photo of Naomi when she was acting in the role as the lovely Princess Diana. And I love this Light Spring clear azure color on her. It's in a evening material. The gown is in an evening material. So I want to say that this color is a beautiful statement color that Naomi Watts should wear more often on the red carpet. When I was Googling photos to put together this presentation of Naomi, she doesn't wear a lot of the clear azure color, and it's such a beautiful color on her. This is definitely one of her statement colors. And again, if you haven't been following the color branding series, your statement colors are just those colors that you wear when you are attending high society profile events such as galas and weddings and garden parties, and just those events that require you to receive an invitation in the mail that you have to RSVP or that you have VIP tickets for, and you want to make an entrance. You want to make a sophisticated, elegant, classy entrance without being arrogant, without being brash, without being too loud in the room. You just want to subtly have people turn their heads to see who is that. And I love that color on her. That is what your statement and your power colors do for you. So when I get into my style personality series, I'll be getting into the specifics of what your power colors are, your statement colors are, your lifestyle colors are, all of that we'll be getting into within the Summer Style Personality series. So I hope that you will follow along for that particular series as well, which means I need you to subscribe to the channel if you want to be the first to know when those videos are released. And lastly, to the bottom far right, we have Naomi wearing Light Springs Rose Quartz. I absolutely love this version of Light Spring Rose Quartz on Naomi. It is so feminine and romantic and very elegant and soft against her natural coloring, and it just balances out the lightness of her visual characteristics as being a light summer who is also a blend of the light spring color season as well. So there we have the beautiful Naomi Watts, who is a blend of both light summer and light spring. If you happen to be a woman of the beautiful Naomi Watts, I encourage you to experiment and explore with the light summer and the light spring color palette, and let me know how those colors work for you down in the comments below. Up next, we will be getting into the lovely Taylor Swift, who happens to be a classic light spring woman of style who can flow into the light summer color palette. So stay tuned for that video.